Enoch. Finish talking about Enoch. So Enoch in Egypt. Enoch taught the whole world, so that will have to include the children of the valley. And the children of the valley, I'm sure, are the people who constructed what we call Egypt on earth. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you check the history, the far back kings of Egypt said that they dug down in the ground and found out one guy became king because he found out that the Sphinx wasn't just a head, but it was a Sphinx, and that had been covered in sand. So, those structures in Egypt go all the way back to Enoch time, because Enoch brought knowledge and wisdom to earth from heaven and taught men righteousness, and men sought after God. So you might see that it's the head with a lion on it because, the Lion of Judah. You never know. But at the same time, they're not teaching that. And it's another thing. So I want to wrap this up real fast before I get caught up. They be trying to stop my videos, but the people definitely the reason why I stopped messing with Egyptian understanding is because of the Book of the Dead. People like Bobby Hemmett. Bobby Hemmett is a shame. Right now, to this day, you can find videos. Bobby Hemmett talk about Satanism and Satan your friend and all this. Don't ever listen to somebody like Bobby Hemmett, but that's the people we was given as we was coming out of the Bible, going straight into the world, and they was coming in disguise. But it was something you knew wasn't right about them people. Like you wouldn't want to be like them, but you was listening to them because you thought they was just smart and had some information. And Bobby Hemmett, one of those people that, I would have once said was wise 15 years ago or 10 years ago, and then I realized, like, man, that man was completely wicked. He was probably a warlock. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to him, and I'm not trying to make any false claims, but I'm saying, in my opinion, he should identify with that because that's what he kind of preaches on YouTube. So, well, he's not on YouTube, but his stuff makes it to YouTube. But in Egypt, they had a Book of the Dead. The Lord, it's 3 books. It's the book of life, the Book of the Dead, and the book of those who have not or have innocently broken the law and have not, come to the understanding of God and chosen their life, whether it be, how God say he'd rather hot or cold, because that's the book of life, or the book of death. But it's another book for people who are undecided or haven't, God is a merciful God, and he's enduring. So the Book of Dead, though, is going to refer to the people who for sure going to die. They for sure made their decision that they going to serve the devil. So Pharaoh is associated with people who going to serve the devil. It's a portal in the pyramids. It's a portal in the, what's the name? It's a portal in the pyramids. It's a portal in the, in the head of the Pharaoh, in the ground facing up, the face that's facing up, and the top of the pyramid. Those are portals that is going into hell. You know what I mean? The devil, people say that they seen the Buddha idols in front of in front of the gates of hell. Some people say that they seen Pharaoh at the gates of hell. But, if they say Pharaoh saying, you stupid person, you shouldn't have heard, didn't you see what God did to me and all the stuff that happened to me, and you still chose to come here? And like this, it's Pharaoh's job to just be the gatekeeper for hell, to let people, to shame people right before they walk in. Some people say they see Buddha on the outside of hell. But regardless, Pharaoh is, and the Egyptian religions deal with the Book of the Dead. That's one thing they can decipher. And we know that the Book of the Dead is also in the Bible, referenced in the Bible, or referenced in our faith too. And basically, the Book of the Dead is about those people who sold their soul. Those people who know that they're serving evil. So those people who say, I identify better with doing wrong and hurtful stuff in a dog-eat-dog world and kill to survive. I do better with that, and that's what I want to do. I like that. That's me. And I don't want to quote nobody, no musicians, because I know that they really didn't believe that. So I don't even want to push that on them. But some people go openly admit in their songs, like, I'd rather do this, do that, because the other life ain't for me. But in reality, they in the Book of the Dead. And that's who Pharaoh has authority over, the Book of the Dead. So Pharaoh is like Enoch, like they got these type of angels, that's their guardian angels, they guardian angels are evil. The Jesus Christ is here. So Jesus Christ is alive. So, he's a guardian angel to every human being, and he's a rescuer to every human being. He's there all the time watching you. He's the only person that can do that in the spirit. He's there all the time watching you, but he's also not making no actions if he wants you to call him and make, he's not going to just save you all the time just because the devil is going to do something to you if you in agreement with the devil. Because if you could be smart enough to be in agreement to know you're doing something wrong, then you should know that to fix it, you should go to something right. So he's sitting in the chair and the devil right there in the spirit world doing all he can. Like God's sitting on his throne, Jesus sitting on some throne, right in your presence, 24/7. That it's immovable from your body. It's a throne like 2 feet outside of you per se. It's really inside of you, but 2 feet outside of you, and on the other you got the devil who running up beside you all the time. Now I ain't saying the devil could be around each one of us, but in actuality he can, because just like the devil could affect you and me without us being nowhere near each other at the same time. Like at 4 o'clock, I could be here, and at the same corresponding time and other time zone, he could be right there dealing with you. You know what I'm saying? And that's because what we got to know what the devil is. He's not all powerful. The devil is spiritual. It's a energy, not just an energy. It's vices. So the vices all together are devilish. You know what I'm saying? Things of a vice nature make you devilish. You know what I'm saying? So the vices we deal with those on a personal level and consciousness. It's not just an external thing. So, the people in Egypt, they deal with the book of the dead. I'm not saying that they don't deal with the book of the life, but I know the way that they regarded the book of the dead and the necromancy end up becoming introduced through, I'm not saying to the world, but to my understanding of what necromancy was, which is the dead and this witchcraft. So witchcraft is against the word of the Lord. So me knowing the word of the Lord, I always knew that the black man that I came from was righteous people. So when it wasn't lining up with what God said, even though I was leaving outside of the Bible, I wasn't leaving the Bible. It was just the Bible didn't have enough identity for me to find heritage in. So at the time, excuse me, Lord, I didn't feel that the Bible had enough heritage in it to like suffice what I wanted to be, or the identity I wanted to have. It just didn't tell me enough. So I also knew that when I found out something new, if it was in contrast and it was sounding devilish, then I knew just to back off from it. And that's I went many routes. Some of them I do from the beginning one right, but the Egyptian thing, it definitely wasn't what it panned out to be. It ended up panning out to be Pan. Pan is the little demon, the Baphomet, whatever you want to call it. That's what Egyptian thing panned out to be. It panned out to be that. And that's how it evened out. Like you thought it was the best thing in the world and it was the worst thing in the world. So it's evened out. Just walk away from it. And I seen the portals, you know what I'm saying? Like it's portals. That's the purpose for the pyramids. It's portals to hell. You know what I'm saying? Portals to hell. Now, did people want to commune with the dead? How did it start? Did they just want to commune with the dead and it was made a way for them to do that? Maybe so. Maybe, who knows? But that's not what God wants us to do in no way. So I don't understand why those pyramids still exist. I don't understand why they didn't get bulldozed. I'm not saying that they should or shouldn't. I am saying that I feel that they should be bulldozed, and that the Sphinx and all those idols on this earth should be bulldozed all across this globe. Just take every nation should grab their bulldozers and knock down all these idols. Because God, the word say, don't make no images of anything above in heaven or below on earth. So why is we making any type of images? Like stop making structures that ain't to support people and conceal people from the environment when it's bad weather and things like that in homes. Stop making just idols, big statues, dedicating them Statue of Liberties, whatever. Stop doing that. Like, that's not even, I know it ain't our way. I can't speak for no other people, but it ain't our way. We need to stop doing it. Stop taking on their customs, because that's the worst thing we could do. Stop making art. Stop making art that ain't educational art. Stop making statues. That's what I feel. We need to stop that industry of glorifying art, because those are all idols. Pictures, paintings, all that, idolatry. And we don't get no power from it, don't know what it's doing, but all we do know by fact is that it's taking us out of the covenant and taking away our protection. And that's why they got us doing it. So I just want to close off on Egypt. Egypt is not where you need to be. You need to go back in the Bible, because your grandparents, I guarantee you, they gave you the Bible. And if they gave you Islam, then they was just a little tad off. But even now, the leaders of the people who gave your people Islam, they was talking about the Bible. Farrakhan, them talking about the Bible. They got all credibility for the Bible. And we know more positivity about the people of the Bible than we know about Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. And even Farrakhan admitted the Bible. So, you know, it's time that we get back to the real heritage and know exactly who we are as the children of God. And if you don't accept that, you won't win. But if you do accept that and repent of the things you've been doing and go into something new, you will be blessed. And that's what I've been learning, and that's what I'm trying to abide under, the covenant of being blessed. And the devil could keep attacking me because you're attacking me already. So these thoughts, and it's going to keep attacking me because I was already brought into this world, and then I didn't have much discernment. I ain't have much disregard for I have a lot of concern for the law of God, like I should, as a matter of fact. So it was easy. I become programmed, but see, God do something new when He wash you. So when He wash you, you might not even know you've been changed, but you already been changed anyway. You're already incapable of doing nothing He already determined that you won't never do nothing He wants you to do anyway. But you might be just struggling, not doing it. He already know. I changed him. He gonna still struggle in his mind. That's a part of the battle, but I changed him already. He already changed. You know what I'm saying? So thank God for that. Get out of the Egypt. Come back home. God still love you. Egypt in the end are going to come back to God. That's what the word says. It says Syria first. It says Egypt and Syria. Egypt first, Assyria second, and Israel third. So Israel will be third. The last, first will come last, last will come first. So Israel will be third. And then Egypt is His people. Assyria is His handiwork. And Israel is his inheritance, and that's all the word of God. So if you dispute that, or if you can edify that, let me know. But Egypt is His people, Assyria is His handiwork, and Israel is His inheritance. Now, I got tattoos on me, and nobody knows these tattoos, but I say they're Egyptian tattoos. But the thing is, Egypt is His people. So even though I strayed, and even though God forgive me for tattooing my body, and it was complete confusion, and like I said, I was in ignorance, and I would never promote Egypt to nobody. You see, this video is not about that, not about promoting it. But however, me having those tattoos, I don't dance from it, because in Egypt, like I said, they learned from Enoch. Enoch bring knowledge and wisdom. Well, if you don't believe that, who is Tahuti to them, or Hermes Trismegistus to the European world? All those allegedly are the same person with Metatron, which is Enoch, allegedly, according to legend, Egyptian legend. And Hermes Trismegistus is a European legend, and they all supposed to relate to Enoch. And so that's supposed to be the highest wisdom that they have on earth right now, which is the wisdom of Hermes Trismegistus. I can't say his name, but Hermes, or just call him Hermes. Hermes, or Tahuti. Because everything, like Aristotle and them went and studied under other people in Africa, and it'd be Tahuti. So Tahuti would have been the god of wisdom, the idol of wisdom. God is the God of all gods. God is the God of wisdom. So He would have been the idol of wisdom. But, Enoch could be Tahuti. And just because people and we know that the people who follow Enoch was righteous people. So if it was people in the Egypt territory that followed Enoch, we know that they was actually righteous. It's just the fact that they later on, their children looked at Enoch as a god. Who knows? But we saying steer away from all that. The Bible got too much clarity to go into fog and the cloud. That's all I'm saying.